Casio just took one of the most beloved formulas in the entire budget watch world, and that's the World Map Digital, and they squeezed it into a slim, feather-like case that almost disappears on your wrist. Now this is the LF-30W, and today I have the 2A variant, and that's the one that comes in this dusty light blue color. This only costs about $30 US, and for that money, you're getting world time across 48 cities, 5 alarms, a stopwatch, a countdown timer, and then that signature world map display up in the top right corner. So the question I want to answer in this video is simple: is this the new go-to budget beater from Casio? So I'm going to walk you through the size, the strap, the design, and then, of course, the main event. I'm going to take you through the entire module, button by button, feature by feature, so you know exactly how to run every function on this watch. Let's start with the numbers, because the size is a huge appeal of this kind of watch. The case measures 37.8 millimeters lug to lug, and then 33.7 millimeters wide, and it's only 8.6 millimeters thick. And that thinness really stands out, because this is one of the slimmest watches that Casio currently makes. Talking about the weight, on the scale, this comes in at only 23 grams. So on your wrist, it is really next to nothing. The case and the crystal are both resin, so yes, that's an acrylic style front, not mineral glass, which I'll come back to later. For water resistance, you get the basic rating, which they say is fine for rain, splashes, and washing your hands, but this really isn't meant for swimming or showering in. But if you look at tons of reports, people swim in this, they shower in it, so it just depends on how much you want to risk it. But I have showered, taken mine in the sauna a whole bunch of times, and it's been completely fine. Powering all of this is the 3572 module running on a single CR1616 battery that's rated for about 3 years of use without changing the battery. And then you're getting timekeeping accuracy of plus or minus 30 seconds a month, which is fantastic. It's a standard kind of Casio quartz watch. It's exactly what you'd expect at this price point. The strap is one of my favorite things about this watch. Casio makes this one from their bio-based resin, and that's partly derived from renewable plant materials, which is part of their broader push towards more eco-friendly, less pure plastic builds. But forget about the eco angle for a second, because what actually matters is how this thing feels and how it wears on your wrist, and it is supple. It's flexible, and it is genuinely comfortable. It's a simplified design, just clean horizontal grooves. There's no busy wave texture or anything like that, which keeps everything very slim, and it's in line with the overall minimalist look this watch is going for. It uses 16mm spring bars, so if you want to swap in a strap down the road, just keep that 16mm number in mind, because it's a touch narrower than the usual 18mm. The buckle is plastic, it's stamped with that Casio logo, and the sizing fits wrists roughly from 5 to 8 inches, which is going to cover most people. On my wrist, it holds securely, it doesn't dig in at all, and the keeper loop here actually stays put, and it keeps the rest of the strap where you want it. Design-wise, this leans into that clean, minimalist direction Casio's really been chasing lately with their new releases. It has a rectangular case with a vertical layout, little cutouts on the corner that gives it that subtle 80s sci-fi feel without being too retro. If you know the LF-30W, this is basically the same case, and if you know the A500 or the AE1200, the Casio Royale, think of this as that module tucked into a slimmer, lighter body. Now the display, because this is a real highlight. The digits are noticeably larger than the LF-20W, which makes it easier to read at a distance. In the upper top left, you have your clean indicators for mute, alarm, and signal just means the beep at the hour. And then the top right is the world map that lights up to your current time zone. Then you have that big, very legible 2-line layout for the time and date underneath. One thing to note though, like a lot of the newer Casio panels, the contrast is tuned to look its best from a slight angle. So when you glance down at the watch on your wrist, it looks crisp, but dead on at 90 degrees, it looks a little bit washed out. In real world use, you almost never look at your watch straight on, so it's not something that bothers me, but when I was filming the B-roll for this watch and angling it to show the camera, you definitely notice it a lot more. And then the backlight is a single amber LED, and it is definitely bright enough to light up the entire watch face. And one thing I love, it has a selectable afterglow, which means that the light stays on after you press the button, and you can change that from 1.5 to 3 seconds. Comfort is genuinely one of the watch's strongest points, and it comes right back to that weight and then the thickness. At 23 grams and under 9 millimeters thick, this is the kind of watch you really do forget you're wearing. And then it slides right under your shirt or your jacket cuff. It's not the kind of watch that's going to snag, and there's absolutely no bulk to it when you're wearing it. The 4 buttons have a nice tactile feel, they're not mushy, and they're definitely not too stiff, though I did have to kind of press them a little bit harder than I was thinking at first, but I've adjusted to it just compared to some other Casio watches in my collection. And I like that they're spaced far enough apart so you're not going to be hitting the wrong one by accident, and you don't have to get your fingernail in there to activate the button. Everything about wearing and using this watch is just easy and low friction. It truly is a daily beater in that sense. You just throw it on, forget about it, and then the time and all the different features are available for you whenever you want to glance down at it. Okay, now let me take you through this entire watch module so you can see exactly what it can do and how to use it. We'll start with the 4 buttons. On the bottom left, you have the mode button. This is how you switch to different modes of the watch here. On the top left, you have the adjust button. This is where you're going to set the timer, set your time, all that kind of stuff. The top right is your light button. That's obviously going to enable the backlight. And then on the bottom right, you have your search button. And you can use this to do things like switch through the time zone on your home screen here. And in general, when you're setting the watch after you hold adjust, this is going to be back and this is going to be forward. To cycle through the different modes, we're going to press the mode button. This is the regular timekeeping mode. Pressing it once goes to the world time. Pressing it twice goes to the alarm. Pressing it again goes to our timer. One more time goes to our stopwatch, you can see is running. And then one more time, you hear that slightly different tone, and it brings us back to our regular timekeeping screen. So in the regular timekeeping screen, you can see you have the day of the week, you have the month, as well as the date, and then you have the time here. You can do this in 12 or 24-hour time when you're setting it. And then you see in the top right, you have the map, and that shows us we are set right now to Vancouver, which is our location. Now from this home screen, you can press the search button and you can store 4 different time zones right on your home screen here without needing to go into the world time mode. If you want to change one of these preset home screen time zones, just hold down the adjust button for a couple seconds. You see that starts blinking, and so now we can change this to something else. Let's change it to Rio de Janeiro. Press the adjust button to confirm, and now as you see when we scroll through our time zones, T2 is now Rio. Now T1 you can't change, you change that when you're setting the time here, as you can see. And when you go to set the time, you hold the adjust button, you're going to press the search button to reset your seconds timer so you can get a very exact time, and you're going to press the mode button to scroll through the different settings. You can turn daylight savings off and on. This is where you change your home time zone here, so this is that T1 time zone. We can change our hours, the minutes, if we want 12-hour or 24-hour time. I prefer 12-hour myself. Then this is where you can change the year. This has an auto calendar all the way up to 2099. You can change your month. You can change the date. And then this here you see between 3 and 1. It's really between 3 and 1.5. And this is how long the backlight is going to stay on after you press it. And then we're back to setting the seconds, and you just press adjust to confirm, and now you have the watch completely set. Taking a closer look at the world time mode here. So you're just going to press either the search or the light button if you want to move west or east, and you can hold it if you want to quickly change different time zones here. This covers 31 time zones from 48 different major cities in the world, as well as UTC, so if you want to just keep track of that, you have that as well. And then if you're on a particular time zone here, if you hold the adjust button, that will adjust it for daylight savings time to show you what time it's going to be with daylight savings time applied. Then you can hold it again to turn it off. Pressing mode one more time brings you to the alarm screen. And as you can see, we have 5 different alarms we can set here, as well as the hourly signal. So this one here, you can see in the top left that changes. So we're turning the hourly signal on or off here. And then we can set any of our different alarms. So let's turn this one off and change it. So let's make this one go off at 1 p.m. Well, let's do 1:35 p.m. just to make it simple. So there we go, and now that is set to on. So alarm number 3 is currently set to 1:35 p.m. If I do want to turn that off, just press the adjust button, and now alarm number 3 is turned off. Now keep in mind you do have 5 different alarms here, but they are not snooze alarms. They're just those regular alarms, the one-time alarm. You can't snooze these like you can with some G-Shocks. And one thing I really like about this watch, when I compare this to a lot of cheaper Casios, it is way louder. It's kind of hard to demonstrate on camera because it's in context, but if you hold the search button here, that will make the alarm go off to give you a demonstration so you can see how loud it really is. But of my cheap Casios, this one is definitely the loudest. Now pressing that mode button again takes us to the countdown timer. Again, like I said, this is not a repeatable countdown timer, but you just hold adjust to adjust it. You can adjust this up to 24 hours, well, just under 24 hours. So it goes up to 23 and it goes back down to 0. Just press the mode button to switch to change your timer. If you want it to be a 30-minute timer, press adjust to lock in, and then press search to start your timer. And then this is going to go off as soon as it reaches that 30-minute time. And of course, you can go back, do other things on your watch, go to your regular time mode, and this is just going to run in the background, so you don't need to stay on the timer to keep that active. Pressing the mode one more time brings us to the stopwatch. I'm going to stop my stopwatch. I'm going to press the adjust button to reset it. You do that with the timer as well. Press the adjust button to bring it back to what you have it set to. This is a very straightforward stopwatch like you're going to see in most Casio models. It goes up to 24 hours and it works in the hundredths of seconds. So we press start and the time is going to start counting up. And again, this runs in the background. You don't have to stay on this mode for it to stay operational. If I want to stop it, I press that search button again. If I want to start it up, press that search button and it's going to start up again here. But this also does the split time if you want to keep track of 2 different times, for example. So say if somebody just finished, I press adjust and you see it stops at that split time, so I can time the first timer there. That's how long the first person took. And now as you see, when I press adjust again, it kept that running in the background. So this is going to keep running. Then you can stop that with that split time at any time, and it's going to keep running in the background. And again, you just press the search to stop it, press adjust, and it's going to reset and it's ready for a fresh timing. Now in any different mode, you just press that light for the illumination. Very pleased with the illumination. I have mine set to that 3-second time, and I think that's what you should set yours to as well. And then you see that last indicator up there, the mute indicator. If you just hold down the mode button, you see that mute indicator is going to come on, and what that's going to do is it's going to stop any of the operational sounds. So as you move through the modes, as you set the watch, it's not going to make those sounds, but it's still going to do your hourly time signal if you have that turned on, and then your alarms are still going to go off as well. So it's only going to stop the operational sound as you press buttons around the watch. But myself, I like having that on, so I'm going to take the mute off. There we go. And now it's going to make the sounds as I move through the watch. So let's total the watch up. Now on the strength side, it is incredibly slim and light. It is a genuine forget it, you're wearing it kind of a watch. The display is big, clear, and then it's full of character with that constant world map on it. The feature set on it is great. You're getting 5 alarms, world time, a timer, a stopwatch, and then the multi-time swap is legitimately useful if you deal with different time zones. Then you add in a bright backlight and a comfortable eco-resin strap, and the value for this watch is really hard to argue with. But on the weakness side, the resin crystal scratches easily, so it does need a little bit of care, and a stick-on screen protector right when you get it is not a bad move. The 3-year battery life is definitely shorter than the 7-year plus you'd get from something like an AE 1200. Then the countdown timer has no auto repeat, which I really like. Then you don't get any snooze on the alarms. Then the water resistance is splash only, so you're not supposed to swim with it, even though a lot of people do, and for the price I wouldn't be too worried about it. And then finally, the styling is intentionally minimalist, which some people are going to love, and then other people are just going to find a little bit too plain. So what do I think of it overall? Well, I mean, for $30, the LF-30W-2A is a fantastic little watch. It takes that classic world map formula, and then it makes it slimmer, lighter, easier to read, and it keeps almost all the functionality that made the older models so popular. So if you're coming from something like an F91W and you want more, multiple alarms, a countdown timer, world time, and a way better backlight, this is a very easy upgrade to recommend. And if you just want a comfortable, very capable daily beater that you're going to actually forget about wearing, this thing totally nails it. If this breakdown helped you, do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel because I've got more budget watch reviews coming and a lot of older ones on the channel to check out. And if you've got one of these or you're thinking about picking one up, let me know in the comments which of the colors you're going to grab. So thanks for watching this video and I will see you in the next one.